it's over to you, Tina. You have a story for us about a CLP meeting or Hornsey CLP.
Yes, Hornsey and Wood Green, I think most comrades might have heard about this one. And I'm pleased that Miriam David is joining us. She's actually a member locally. Miriam, you're a representative of the Highgate branch at Hornsey and Wood Green CLP, where some right-wingers at the last is it an AGM or a normal meeting, I'm not sure, tried to prevent a Jewish member, Sue Levi, used to give a representation, a video presentation about the Holocaust. Sounds pretty undignified. What happened? It wouldn't have to do anything with false charges of anti-Semitism by any chance?
Yes, it was. It was a general committee of Hornsey and Wood Green CLP. We have monthly meetings with representatives from all the branches. And this meeting was on the eve of Holocaust Memorial Day. And the NEC had invited two speakers who both accepted to come and speak about Holocaust Memorial Day. One was a rabbi, Rabbi David Mason, and the other was the person you've just mentioned, Sue Hughes. When the rabbi found out that Sue was speaking, he decided to refuse the invitation and not come to the meeting. And he tried to get others to boycott the meeting and prevent Sue speaking. This, to me, was simply outrageous. We didn't know all the details, or I didn't know all the details at the meeting, and I was looking forward to hearing both speeches as a Jewish member of the party. But we had a long wrangle about whether or not to accept the rabbi's desire to make sure people boycotted the meeting. He's a member of the Jewish labor movement. And in the event, the decision was made, a 2/3 majority of people wanted Sue still to speak. But members of JLM and other members, about 30 or 40 people, left the meeting at that point. But over 90 people remained. But this behavior was outrageous to me, to use the Holocaust as a sectarian issue about anti-Semitism. So Sue's speech was phenomenal, and I hope you'll all watch it. It was a brilliant discussion about women fighters in the resistance fighters in the Holocaust, with a particular focus on the Warsaw Ghetto members. But at the end of her talk, our constituency MP, Catherine West, was given the platform to talk to us for the last 5 minutes. And all she did was tell us all off, the 90 people remaining or so, because we hadn't supported Rabbi Mason's boycott of the meeting. This seems to me absolutely monstrous. It's despicable behavior to use the Holocaust to attack other Jewish members. What is more unseemly than that? And I was so upset by it, and I've been so upset about how anti-Semitism is used for bizarre purposes, and it's privileged as well by the Labour Party above other forms of racism. And it's evident to me that it is being used as a stick to beat people with and to prevent free speech. And so I decided I couldn't bear these discussions anymore. Many of my good friends in Jewish Voice for Labour have already been suspended or harassed in the Labour Party anyway. So I decided I would leave the Labour Party, and I've sent my resignation letter in. I got a most mealy-mouthed response from Catherine West immediately the next morning, saying it was all a problem of Zoom meetings. that you can't talk properly about these issues because it's on Zoom. She didn't actually address the real issue, which is a question of how we use anti-Semitism. And anti-Semitism now seems to me only to be criticism of the Israeli government, not real anti-Semitism, which is what happened in the Holocaust. I cannot believe that a rabbi would take this position. What is Jewish values of justice that it uses this as a stick to beat other Jewish people with? It's intolerable to me. It cannot be a proper rabbi, in my view.
It's part of the campaign to remake what anti-Semitism is, isn't it? As you said, it is not about hatred of Jews anymore, it seems, but an attempt to rewrite it as criticism of Israel. And you had the wrong type of Jew there, I think, in the meeting.
Yes. Well, I am the wrong type of Jew, but I'm a committed Jew. I do want to fight anti-Semitism. I don't want to fight this kind of anti-Semitism. I want to fight all forms of racism, and anti-Semitism as one of them.
Absolutely. And we should say that there is anti-Semitism. Of course, nobody's saying anti-Semitism doesn't exist, but has it really been a huge crisis in the Labour Party? I mean, this will be ongoing in the near future. So the problem, I have a slight problem with resigning from the Labour Party. I can totally understand why people do it on a personal level, etc. But what's next? I mean, where do you go? Is there something to, what's the alternative?
Well, it is difficult, and but I was so angry that the Labour Party is still using this erroneous definition of anti-Semitism. I didn't feel it was good for my health or other people's health to stay there and feeling angry and frustrated. I joined the Labour Party when Jeremy Corbyn, who at that time was my MP, to fight on that kind of position. And I feel that there is an alternative in terms of collective action that we should keep fighting on the left, as this group is doing and others. But I don't think at the moment it's possible to use the Labour Party, but Jewish Voice for Labour is still my home. So
well, I think you're spot on. I think this show does actually, I think we're trying to build something else here, don't we? We don't platform each other, etc., even though we might disagree on some issues, but discussions like this are very important, I think. Thank you very much, Miriam, for joining us. All the best and good luck, and thank you very much for speaking about this. Thank you. Back to you, Crispin.